It is Thursday, March 28th, 2024. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne. This is Things You Might Not Have Heard, and I'm going to present for you what we have in the queue. 8 stories from the news yesterday, stories that covered conversational topics, including information, politics, current events, and pop culture news. You deemed it conversational, and we'll explain how that happened in a bit. We'll do the news and tell you how the news got to be here. It's basically what's going to happen. Plus, some fun things for today that you won't want to miss at the end of the program. Our website, this is conversationproject.com. More details on how we do this thing every single day, every single night, all day, all night, all the time. And of course, you can email us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. We are going Caitlin Clark big, hard today, as you can guess. But our top story for the day, and there's no particular order as they're being presented, will kind of give you some ideas of how things sort of came about, if you will, in the presentation. But we'll, with some context, but no particular order. These aren't the top 8 stories. We'll explain what top stories they are in a moment. Caitlin Clark is in the promo, but we're going to go with the big story in politics and world news, if you will. And the headline reads, Joe Lieberman dies. Former senator and vice presidential candidate was 82 years old. You may not remember Joe Lieberman if you're not a big political wonk at this time, because he's been out of the scene for a while, and essentially out of the scene for good reason. People don't want him in the scene. The prominent Democrat senator who was once on the ticket with Al Gore to be vice president, who got disillusioned with how things went and almost went on a ticket with John McCain until he decided, okay, I guess we're taking Sarah Palin. The story behind that is a really, really odd one, if you will. Died at the age of 82. He is the big name behind No Labels. He may not be the big money, but he has been the name behind pushing the No Labels brand and going into politics and having some sort of unity ticket going forward, because both sides together should be better than both sides fighting each other. A long storied career. Essentially, the guy had made a lot of enemies by making friends and then doing his own thing as independent, but made those friends back for the most part. The joke going on right now in the news is the fact that right now Joe Lieberman is in heaven and hearing an earful from John McCain, wondering why things are so bad down here. Rest in peace, Senator Lieberman. Let's go to our next story. Headline number 2 for this morning. The headline reads, Diddy sells off Revolt TV shares to anonymous buyer. Sean Diddy Combs, Puffy, Puff Daddy, Puff Dog, is in the news for the raids on his houses, but also trying to figure out how to go forward with what's happening going forward. And he's basically sold off his shares in Revolt TV, the company he actually founded back in 2013, and the buyer is anonymous. So we won't know what's going to happen with it until they decide to say something or not. Now, giving his ties in the community, giving his ties to companies, and giving to right now the issues with, we'll just say, sex trafficking, this may be a big tale of what's happening. This may just be something that was in the works to get out of this burden of having to deal with this TV station, the TV group that he had for all this time. This may have something to do with him being gone for a while. We'll have to read into this what you want to read into this. This is essentially what you're going to have to do, and we're going to do that. That's going to happen. We're people. We're going to, do those things. But right now, the bigger story, they're probably the biggest stories you pulled out there, but this was one that seemed very interesting. The timing of this has a bit of interest into it on what exactly is happening for Diddy so much and Revolt TV. The headline, that's the third one for this morning, reads, Caitlin Clark receives Mammoth $5 million offer to play professional basketball in the Big 3 league. Now, the original headlines, it's because, it's clickbaity, all said men's basketball, men's league going for. So what's men's league's going to play for him? Not one in Turkey, not a USBL, not even the G League. It is the Big 3. Ice Cube's home for retired players in 3-ball basketball wants to put Caitlin Clark on the map by having her play with the dudes. And she could probably, the way she shoots, she can probably make that happen. So that's a thing. Now, the biggest stories around Caitlin Clark have been I'll say jokes, because there's no other way to really describe them. The commentary about the fact that because of NIL money and likeness money, and the fact that she's in State Farm commercials with Reggie, with Reggie going on out there, maybe she should, just stay in college or stick around and do somewhat else and get that this money, because the WNBA obviously not paying those type of salaries that they're paying the men. Here's a men's league, if you will, trying to pay her men's money that she's not going to take, because she's going to want to play real basketball. Sorry, Cube. Real basketball is going to win out of this one. Let's go to the next headline. The story number 4 for this morning reads, Bronny James's NBA dilemma deepens as shocking USC rumor threatens to derail college career. Yeah, this is an extremely clickbaity, bloggy thing, but we've been talking about Bronny James's progression all year. As we talked about Caitlin Clark, the 4-year player from Iowa is going to do just fine in the WNBA draft. The first-year player at USC, who had to miss a good chunk of the season because of a congenital heart defect that was not seen before, is having some issues because he's not putting up superstar numbers in his first year in career. He's not looking like a one and done, which isn't so much a problem, except he's the son of LeBron James, who literally skipped college to go straight to the pros. And we know how that turned out fairly well for him. Bronny James, the rumors coming out that some things being linked to Southern California, some issues going around the complex, are making things kind of odd, which means, number one, he doesn't have the numbers and the ability to really go very high in this draft, so not make a difference, although the Lakers are going to take him regardless, maybe in a supplemental draft. But just for appearances, he needs to be drafted someplace. He could go to the transfer portal and go someplace else and leave USC and go and work out someplace else, which is basically what's happening or what they're looking at, because USC doesn't seem like the best fit for him. It was close to dad playing in Los Angeles, of course, but does it really mean good for him playing going forward? Will another team help him out? Will another top-tier team help? Will going to Duke fix things? As opposed to the fact that he's not going to the pros. He's basically not going in for the draft this year because he's literally not worth it this year. Maybe next year going forward. This is not exactly the case of a LeBron or say a Michael Jordan, where his kids just didn't have the talent and basically played off the Jordan name to just get into college for the most part, get on a team. Bronny James apparently has skills. He's just not top level. He's just run-of-the-mill college player, which is great in Turkey, great in Greece, maybe not so great for the Lakers or the Timberwolves or the Mavericks. So let's go to the NBA for a quick bit, and let's go to college, staying in that thing for going forward. An ESPN host recently threw off the little hot take, and I know hot takes well, about ex-NBA players jumped on it profusely, saying that the UConn men could probably play and do well in the NBA playoffs. They can actually, make a run for it. 33-3 seasons. They are very impressive, very well. Defending national championships, that could happen. They could make the playoffs. They could make the playoffs if they were a regular team playing the 84 games that are in the NBA season. Many other of the ex-NBA players, every time this thing comes up, said, this is stupid. Stop saying it. Stop making noise. Now, a lot of the problem is the fact that what you're looking for on the commentators on ESPN, on Fox Sports, all those files theirs, have to say things that will get people to listen and get people to talk about them. It's not about stats, because stats are boring. Stats are how things work, but they're boring. Normal people don't watch commercials for stats. They can go pick up a newspaper or go online to get the stats. Normal people listen to folks like Jay Williams that says Green on Get Up and basically hear them talk nonsense. It's why the chatting shows with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith work so well, because it's people just yelling at each other with things that don't necessarily make any sense. But it's the comedy of the combative there. The ex-NBA players, many of them jumping to the really quick, this is stupid, y'all shut up bandwagon, because UConn, the college team, could not make it to the NBA playoffs on a regular season because it's a dumb idea. It's just flat out stupid. Ozempic in the news again, this time not so much for losing weight, but gaining some weight, if you will, pun intended, for supercomputers. Pharmaceutical company Novo Nordisk, known for producing the popular drugs Ozempic and Wegovy, is investing in the future of drug design by funding a new artificial intelligence supercomputer powered by Nvidia. Yes, the people are taking their profits, record profits as they always tend to be, to make new computers to do AI to help them with future drug trials, drug development, drugs going on. This is a good thing for us, where they're taking their money and they're putting it into something that will make them more money, yes, but should make the drugs cheaper, make the development faster going forward. That second part may not happen as quickly as the first part, them making more money, but it is a good thing. They're not just buying Lambos and buying really big yachts, although I'm sure some of them are. But the companies are putting their money where their mouth is and making better drugs, or hope to make better drugs by putting money into supercomputers built by Nvidia. That stock for Nvidia, and I'm sure for Novo Nordisk, is going to go up from things like this. Headline the next, number 7, if you will. Bill Maher launches podcast network with former ESPN anchor Stage Steele on board. This is what we wanted to put. We actually wanted to put Joe Lieberman and Stage Steele into the headlines for the teaser. We didn't. We went with the basketball because basketball is big right now. But the big deal with this is Bill Maher is launching a podcast network like everyone else is. But it's a network that he's repping in with former ESPN anchor Sage Steele, who has had some controversy, if you will, as she is one of the darlings of the conservative bent. Now, maybe she'll take, I guess now that she's locked in with Bill Maher, she can't go to the Daily Wire and work with Ben Shapiro. Folks would love that. But the controversial conservative styles of Sage Steele are going to go and be backed by Bill Maher and a big company, and it's basically making issues for the landscape of podcasting, and whether this is just her and her voice or whether it's sitting on a couch like all the podcasts tend to be these days, we shall see. Stage Steele put out a tweet X, whatever you call that, about the big news. It's something she's been holding on for a while. As Bill Maher's been working this deal to make sure that everybody behind the scenes gets taken care of, gets paid, everything's done professionally, because I do a podcast every day and nobody's paying me any money. So there you go. But this is a deal that's going to be great for Sage Steele, I guess, and pretty good for Bill Maher. We'll see what they have to say, what all people on the network have to say, and whether it's really worth tuning into. And finally, our number 8 story for this morning. Cadbury announces the 2024 Cadbury Bunny Tryouts winner. It is Louie the Raccoon. Your next big Cadbury egg commercial star is going to be this guy, Louie the Raccoon. He won in the tryouts for 2024, which means in the 2025 commercials, he will be inserted into the commercials as one of the Easter Bunny things. You know, they have the lion, the bunny, and the llama. It'll now be Louie the Raccoon, as raccoons don't really make a noise other than so I don't know how that's going to work out. But Louie, or his owners, I guess, win $7,000 and a unique opportunity to be featured in this commercial. He is an adopted shelter raccoon, if you will, nursed back to health after some issues, and an internet sensation. And so now his handlers, because Louie can't spend the cash, will get a big chunk of money to go along with extra fame for Louie, Mr. Louie, the Raccoon. There are all so many jokes in that one, but we're going to move on to our apologies, errors, and omissions section. One story we didn't get into, and we probably should have. We could have, replaced a lot of stories with this one because it's not getting a lot of seen because it's really going below the radar. But here's the headline for it: ByteDance pushing TikTok's users to use Lemonade app as ban looms. As the ban of TikTok is happening, there's the other ByteDance owned app out there called Lemonade, and it's one that popped up as something big at the moment, and then because I can't deal with any of these apps, I forgot about it. So the big deal is getting people off of the one to the other. Are there any advantages? Well, that's still the Chinese-backed company, and we're going to say that way because that's where they're pushing it. We'll still have a chance to influence people by pulling their data and sending it to China, I guess. But we're going to see, as time is ticking on the sale of TikTok to an American company, or just a company that's not based out of China, not a Chinese, Hong Kong, Asian company in that vein, going forward. If they go to Lemonade, if people pivot to Lemonade, it means a pretty big strategy shift, and then of course we'll have to ban that one. But we'll see if ByteDance can make this happen. One, make the sale if they really want to make the sale of TikTok, and two, if it happens and it gets banned, get the folks on some Lemonade. All tasty, all tasty. Our teaser story for this morning, this is a story that we can chat up if you deem it worthy of the love, if you will. And the teaser part is how we got the stories picked for today. We gave you 8 news stories from our headlines, from the headlines across the internet. We pulled them and posted one every 50 minutes on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter, and you engaged them throughout the day yesterday. And what we came up with was this morning, we pulled them down, put them into a spreadsheet to give us the engagement score, and then gave them to you, 8 of them. 8 of the top stories, top 15 stories of the day. I think there was 37 distinct posts in the day. We took 8 of the top 15 and gave them to you here, plus a little bit more of the ByteDance story. So go to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/This Is a Conversation Project and twitter.com/th_conversation. And that's how you vote the stories in every single day. We don't have a headline machine unless you help us make a headline machine. Simple. Easy, just like that. So check it out today and make sure you know what we're talking. Make sure you can tell us what we're talking about for tomorrow and beyond and beyond. Here's the headline we have, what we're working on for today. If you want us to talk about it more, let me know. The title reads, "Majority of Americans disapprove of Israel's war against Hamas, poll." So new poll from We'll go deep in the story if we want to. New poll is saying that more Americans, so that's 51%, that's the majority of Americans, don't like what's going on in Israel, where Israel is fighting with Hamas and whomever else want to throw out some bombs in the Gaza region, in what's happening. So Americans don't like that. I say often the poll is a representative of a snapshot in time and the people you find, because the folks you find answer the questions. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Do you want to chat it up more? Just go to the feeds and give us some love with this story, or some hates, or some scrunchy faces, and go with that one. We teased yesterday the story about Krispy Kreme donuts coming to McDonald's. It's a pretty big deal. It's going to take about 2.5 years to roll them out to all the McDonald's around the nation. Big thing is, it didn't get the love that you guys had to give it to get a chance to look at it. It was not a top 15 story. We're not talking about it. We're talking about other things. When we talk about the Americans not liking the war in Israel via this poll, you have to make that happen. Our spotlight sponsor for today is the Chess Store. The Chess Store offers beautiful chess sets, beautiful designs for the chess sets, whether they are for your home or for travel. They are luxurious. They are lovely, made out of various types of materials, metal, steel, wood, plastic, and they are just great chess sets. Also, other chess accessories, chess pieces that you can put in as bookcase pieces. Bookends, things like that. Just put them on your shelf, put them on your desk if you love chess. And if you don't love chess, get you a great chessboard and play it. You will love chess. Or you'll show people that they can think you love chess with a beautiful chessboard. This is a great thing to do, and the proceeds for this goes to the engagement of chess. And if you don't know, the background world of chess, big time chess, you think Housewives is a big deal. See how these guys are doing the dirty on the chess circuit. Trust me, it's pretty intense. But you don't have to go that way. Just get yourself a nice chess set. Go to thisistheconversationproject.com/thechessstore. This is theconversationproject.com/thechessstore, and you can have a beautiful chess set or a great travel set to take with you today. This is an affiliate link, so any purchase you make via our link at the Chess Store gives us a small commission, helps us keep things going here at the Conversation Project. What also helps keep things going here at the Conversation Project is literally you, people like you. And we ask you for joining our partnerships, and we do this every day here. We ask you to stop by our sponsors page and buy things from them because it is direct links as affiliates. We ask you to just do what you can to help us out, to keep things going. Go to our feeds and engage in the stories. That's the most important thing you can do, because if we have your engagement, we know people are out there. We have the stories to talk about that are the most engaging and great ones. We make better decisions for our actual programs. Go to our email and email us with whatever you want to talk about. Hopefully things about the Conversation Project, but we can chat up other things you want to. And that way we know people are engaging what we have going on. Becoming a partner helps, and helps a lot. Go to our partnerships page at our website and see if the options there work for you and you deem us worthy of your contributions. We will take good care of them, we promise, and we'll use your contributions to help us do things around here. And the more contributions, the more you can see how things can work out. And you also get a direct line to me going forward, and you get to hear, unfortunately, a lot of sad stories of how things are not going so great, but behind the scenes on why things are going the way they are. Oh, I have a big announcement dealing with the Conversation Project and dealing with More Bitter Media. The Conversation Project is all about talking and conversating, not a real word, and getting engaged with things. And so what was done over the past couple of weeks was begin a project called the Big Words Project. The Big Words Project was basically a way to sneak in a word of the day into the Conversation Project in our daily newsletter. But we also wanted to hype something up, sell something along with, if you will, and released a few days ago, although we're having some issues with the paperback, is the book Big Words You Ought to Know, Volume 1, 100 Words from a Butt to Zest. Now, Volume 1 of what should be 12 volumes. We're going to put this book out a bunch of times. This book's going to go out, a new book going out every quarter for 4 years. So every 3 months, we're going to put out 100 words for you, because 90 days or so, the 100 words get into brand new books. And this project should go about 4 years with a book every 3 months. Right now, go to Amazon and you can get it on Kindle. Big Words You Ought to Know. Just search for that and the Kindle version will pop up. Some issues getting the paperback to be in the queue, so hopefully that will be taken care of within a day or so. So if you want to actually read it, touch it, play around with it, it is there. But this will provide for you 100 words to go into, to use either as a word of the day, or just going through just a curiosity bit, or you can use it just looking up big words to kind of go with things. There are some great words in here, so check it out today and see what's going on. If you're not a Kindle fan, then you can wait a little bit and we'll update you on the actual book. $1 from every book sold, the Kindle version and the paperback version, will go to a local reading program here in Arkansas. So that's the pitch. And also hopefully to give you a little bit of incentive to go ahead and throw some money my way. So for every book sold, we're going to put $1 into the kitty, and every quarter we're going to make a donation to a local reading project here in the state. So help a brother out, me, help some other little brothers out and sisters, the readers, the kids, and get yourself some knowledge and give some love to the book. The word of the day that we'll have here in a moment in the fun stuff. And check out the Big Words Project online at the bigwordsproject.com, net, and org, about all three. And sign up for the newsletter so you get the word specifically and some other things coming as we grow with this project. Thank you in advance. No advance, because right now we are here for the Conversation Project's fun stuff. Or it's everybody's fun stuff, if you will. The fun stuff for today and all days start with birthdays. Today's fun stuff kicks off with a birthday specifically for Christina with a K, and that is shouting out Reba McEntire, turning 69 years old on this day. Now, Reba's coming back with a new sitcom coming very soon. That's coming up well. She's on the road touring right now. Did you know that Reba McEntire was almost talked out of doing Fancy because it's about prostitution? Shocked, I know, but she wanted to do Fancy, the song that was, I don't know if it was written by, but made famous by Vicki Lawrence way back when. And they didn't want to do it because dirty things happen in the song, or dirty things are implied in the song. So she did it. It's a karaoke staple, and here's your one chance. She has more than one chance. She's Reba McEntire, 69 years old. Also, quick birthday love to Julia Stiles, 43 years old, and Lady Gaga, turning 38 on the day, as Joker 2 is coming out very soon, and people are realizing it's going to be a musical, and people are flipping the hell out. Our history lesson for today, get the newsletter so you can see all three that we're blurbing out there, but we're going to put a hit on 1986. On this day, way back when, more than 6,000 radio stations, remember those, all stopped and played the same song at the same time, simultaneously playing We Are the World at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We Are the World was the answer to Do They Know That There's Christmas, because the British found a way to sing a song about apartheid in Africa. At the time, it was a big deal. The starving kids in Africa thing was a big deal. Now it's unrest and unsettlement, but that's a whole nother fight for a whole nother time to sing it. We Are the World brought together many of the big singers of the 80s, including Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Bob Dylan, Huey Lewis and the News, Cyndi Lauper. I can name off all the famous folks that people under 30 have no idea who they are, other than Michael Jackson, maybe Cyndi Lauper, because she had those commercials for the skincare stuff. But this was a really big deal back in the day. So We Are the World playing on 6,000 radio stations at the same damn time, 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time on this day in 86. Our word for the day, speaking of the Big Word Project, is consider. Consider this. Consider means deem to be. You consider it. That's what you mean for that. More on the word and words for the day at the Conversation Project's sister site, our partnership with the Big Words Project at thebigwordsproject.com. And today we're celebrating Weed Day. No, 420 is the day we celebrate puffing, smoking weed. Today we, for some reason, celebrate the weeds that grow in your garden because they are survivors. They have staunch traits to choke out the fun stuff, the beautiful flowers, the good grass you have, and come up as just nasty stuff. Appreciate their resilience and kill them when you see them. Today is Weed, or should be Weeds Appreciation Day, not the grass you smoke, the stuff in the grass, in your grass. Thank you very much. And now, no more now. We're wrapping up for Thursday, March 23rd, 28th, 2024. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for joining us for the ride that is the Conversation Project and for all the things we do behind the scenes with More Bitter Media, the larger scope company as well. This is a labor that can't be done without you, literally because we need you to vote on stories for news. So do that, number one. Go to your feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Go to Facebook and Twitter or X and look for our feeds, our pages, and let us know what headline stories should be the tops of the tops. And when you do that, we pick out 8 for the day, 8 of 15 in the tops and give you into the news break. That's how things work around here. Consider being a partner. Consider visiting our sponsors. Consider emailing us for more details of things to work on. Take all those things in consideration and do what you can to help us have a better thing here. Stay limber and hydrated and on task for all the grand things you're here to do. And join us tomorrow, shall we? We'll have a great time tomorrow. I'm going to just sort of speak it out loud. Prepping for Good Friday, prepping for Easter, prepping for celebrations of all sorts. And I'll give you some insight this weekend on the celebration we're doing for the year anniversary of the tornado here in Little Rock. It's emotional. It's an emotional week coming up, so it is what it is. In the meantime, keep your emotions in check, keep your heart in check, but don't keep your fingers in check. Make sure you're clicking off on those feeds, giving us engagement scores for the Conversation Project.